Hey everybody, it's Edwardo here with your DraftStream Saturday estimates update. And here we go again. Somebody stop this man. First, we went through months of the Canadian occupation. And now it's the Las Vegas domination. Gamble 24x7, fellow resident of the Las Vegas Valley, is dominating the top spots, going for another clean money sweep. He's got first. He's got second. He's leading the Lowball right now. That would bring him a whopping total of $90 out of the $100 prize pool this week. What is this man doing right? Well, he got a little lucky, and he's good. He's good, but he also got a little lucky. He had a score. He had some scores he needed come in, and some scores that he didn't need not come in. And right now he is in the driver's seat, leading Jaybird by about 16 points. Henner YYZ battling for that third slot, about 30 points behind himself. And just putting us all to shame. I mean, my call sheet is getting dusted. I mean, look, all my growers, not showers, have not shown up yet. Like Sweet Autumn, that's gonna happen tonight. It probably won't even put it into the 80s. Probably somewhere in the mid 70s. That's not really gonna help. Clouds, I needed more. BLACKPINK, while I'm enjoying the documentary, I'm halfway through it right now. Love you, Jenny Kim, and I've got her on my roster too, on my call sheet. I just have too much exposure to clouds, and look, for the money, this is really good value, but you really need to be crushing it this week in order to be even in the top three. I mean, look at this: 14, 67, 52. The perfect call sheet is just 20 points away, 1487.4. And in this perfect call sheet, you've got this is following a pretty typical 811 construction. We used to call it the optimal construction, but where more often than not you would see the perfect call sheets showing up with some sort of 8 headliner, 1 co-star, 1 day player setup. And reason why it doesn't always happen that way, but the reason why it's happening this week is we have a particularly strong week. I mean, first of all, look at this average, 90-point average through Saturday. I know we still have 2 more days to go, but my God, that's a pretty high average. And you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 titles that are above 100. That's pretty insane. With another couple, with 9. This is Martin Eden right here knocking on the door, right there. So this is a particularly strong week. And so anytime you have a week where you think there's going to be a lot of high scoring spread around, then you want to diversify your risk. You want to have essentially headliner stacks in what you think the top what do you think that the top titles will be. And so in this case, they have headliner stacks of 1, 2, 3, 4 different titles, and then you see this last one right here is an optimal stack of what the highest performing title is, and it's David Byrne's American Utopia by just a smidge above the ladies of BLACKPINK. And by the way, just a quick cultural aside, this BLACKPINK documentary, I'm digging it. I am. Now I like the music. I was actually listening to their new album when I was out walking yesterday, and it's a banger. I mean, just like just all killer, no filler, 8 straight hits. All up on that album with some really cool guest spots too, like Cardi B and some others. But watching this documentary and seeing, because I know almost nothing about these ladies. I just knew that their music was always kind of hot. That they mixed in different languages. They'd be like half Korean, half English at times. I mean, they just kind of mix it up. But what's really cool about this documentary is that you really get you hear and you read about essentially these years-long boot camps that the K-pop stars go through. But it's another thing to hear and read about them than actually watch these ladies in their own words talk about their experience, see the archival footage of them from their auditions, well, basically from like the way from the way they were brought up, and because what's different about this K-pop group is that they're all from different countries essentially. It's like, was it Rosie's from Thailand, Jisoo's from Korea, Jenny's from New Zealand, Australia, and then Lisa. No, Lisa's one from Thailand, and Rosie's one from Australia, and then Jenny was originally from New Zealand, then Australia, and then Jisoo's from Korea. And that's just and because they're all just like a mix that they really do bring. Oh, that's very clever. Very, very clever. I like that. Because they're such a mix of different languages and cultures and stuff, it really does influence the music and their friendship. It's kind of cool because you think 4 women, especially 4 young women, in a essentially a girl group, would be a lot of infighting, whatever. But they're all like best friends, and it doesn't seem like it's for show either because they're so different in different ways. They don't all need the same stuff. So I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm only halfway. I think I have another half hour left, so I'm gonna try to keep this a little short as we move along because I want to get back to the girls of BLACKPINK. And yes, and if you haven't heard their album, go get their album. It's hot. All right, so so comparing to that perfect call sheet, G24's call sheet has diversified the risk some. So he's got your optimal stack here of David Byrne's Utopia. He's got headliner stack of Clouds, headliner stack of Star Trek, and then exposure to Dez and BLACKPINK. Dez looks like Dez came out the 15th, so that came out Thursday. I don't know if it's got too much more room to run. It feels like it might have maxed out. And it's on Sundance now too. Not a very popular channel. I think we could. I mean, it's pretty up there, but I think we might still could get more movement with BLACKPINK. Yeah, this 7.9 feels low. I think by the end of this weekend, we could see this at 8.2 or so. So that just means he's probably going to extend his lead some more. Because you can't afford to have too much BLACKPINK on your call sheet as it is. Just so even having one is really good exposure. Jaybird, what do you got to do to close the difference? All right, so they're blocking. They got blockers with David Byrne's America. He's got one blocker with the Dez headliner. Blockers with Star Trek Discovery. So totally under control. It's gonna have to come through. And I watched that yesterday, and I liked it. It's a little scary. All the cyber warfare games are going on right now, but it's real. It's happening. It's very informative. And totally under control needs help. Because I don't think it's missing a score, isn't it? Yes, it's missing a Google user score. If this Google user score comes in on par with the IMDb user score, let's say it comes in at 73, I'd give it a 75. Then Jaybird is all up in the mix. So one score can make the difference in this game. But right now, G24's got it totally under control. Yeah, my sorry call sheet, I'm getting smoked. And I need, well, I've got too much Clouds. Dez is fine. Greenland is fine. Oh, Sweet Autumn. Yeah, I'm just dead in the water. Just count me out this week. Count me out. Parfait DM slid back a little. Drew Zod slipped somewhat. He needs help from Greenland, if I do recall. Yeah, he needs some help from Greenland. And what is Greenland doing? Greenland. Well, the scores are in. Really high user score here. It needs help from IMDb, but I don't know if there's enough there to make it. So that seems like it's kind of stuck. Henner YYZ. Just 60-something points off the pace. Let's see what's going on here. Another Canadian duking it out. All right, I like the exposure to BLACKPINK. I like the So all these top call sheets have this optimal stack of David Byrne's American Utopia. That's smart. Probably needs a little more juice from Star Trek, and also needs help from Totally Under Control and The Perfect Weapon. Perfect Weapon. I mean, I mean, I'm telling you, HBO documentaries are very hit and miss. The story about HBO documentaries are very hit and miss. Matter of fact, actually, I don't need to tell you. Let me show you. So if we do this by, come on. If we sort this by platform, any day now. All right, sort this by platform and then by genre. You'll see exactly what I mean. Here we go. So here's HBO and here's documentary. All right. So let's do an average of that. Yeah, we'll even leave out the documentary sports. Just straight up documentary, right? And you're coming in at an 85.74. So, all right, let's undo that. Okay, so what does that mean for our game? Well, an 85.74 would mean totally under control. Oops, no, didn't want that. Where is it? Oh no, the perfect weapon at 76.30. It needs help. It needs help from everywhere, and I'm actually kind of shocked because it's really well done. It speaks to. I mean, it's a technical issue, but it's also a political issue because it talks about how differently the different administrations treated, how we started off, cyber warfare against using Stuxnet, which invaded the Iran, the Iran nuclear reactors and shut those down. And once we did that under George W. Bush, shit was on. The rest of the world was like, oh, okay, so this is how we're gonna play it. And that's when you start seeing, the WannaCry virus, the North Korean Sony hack, and all that sort of stuff. And we would retaliate. So we have a full-blown cyber war going on right now that is largely going unacknowledged. This is another Alex, I think it's Alex Gibney production. So, it's on point. But yeah, this should be covered. This should be covered more. I also know if it is. If it even gets another, say, Google user score, and I think if people register it enough, and I have registered, at least that I watched it and liked it, I mean, this should be about 88%, honestly. And you do that, and then let's see what happens to Henry YYZ. And he still can't get around this log gem right here. So the usual suspects are at their usual tricks again, but we're not out of it totally. We still have hope. I don't have hope, but we have hope. And of course, the draft mom, Brown Baby, Mima. She is just, I mean, yeah, she needs help from the perfect weapon also. This is a good looking call sheet. It's just you needed exposure to BLACKPINK and yeah, if you don't have any David Byrne's American Utopia, you're just assed out this week. That's all there is to it. And so, now it looks like there's a dogfight for the Lowball. I like to see that. The perfect Lowball call sheet looks like this. A lot of Sweet Autumn, which has yet to debut because it comes out. Oh, it comes out tonight on Hallmark. And so, once again, I think this will be different as far as. I mean, it may still end up on the Lowball call sheet, but I expect this will be somewhere in the high 70s because Hallmark and Lifetime people, they always register on IMDb, and they like their stuff. Hellstrom is performing better than expected, which I think might have helped out G24's second call sheet. And Grand Army, I mean, this isn't bad, but in a week where like I said, the average score is 90.35, getting a 79.45, there are worse things that can happen. Plus, also you need to make up the salary right here. You need to make up the salary to get to 75,000. And for those of you who are new to the game, to qualify for a Lowball call sheet and a Lowball bonus, you must spend at least $75,000 in budget. You must have at least one actor from 3 different titles. And you also must stay, within your $100,000 budget, etc., etc. So, oh, and actually, our tiebreakers have changed. I believe our top Metacritic score. Yep. Oh, still 93, but our top IMDb user score is 8.0. Okay. So, noted. Oh, 93. There we go. And... all right. So, what do these two gents battling out need to do? Well, G24... he's got his Sweet Autumn exposure. I like the social distance play. It's not in the final, but I think I have a feeling that social distance may be in the final lowball call sheet. So I like this look. And the secrets we keep, 71.65. I like that too. I think that's going to end up in there once it's all said and done. And then so that's going up against, was it Jaybird 3? Jaybird 3. Look at this. 1 and some change points off. And he's got a heaping help of Hellstrom. And actually, it's... while I think Hellstrom will end up on the final lowball call sheet right now, it's got him slightly behind the curve because Maelstrom got good audience ratings. I like social distance too. La Revolution isn't being covered. It's being drowned in the... it's being drowned out by the Netflix fire hose, so I like this. This actually has the feeling of a winning lowball call sheet to me. Sorry, G24. I don't think the clean sweep is coming this week, but of course, looking forward to the final update where you can make me eat my words. What do I need to do to make up ground? Well, I need social distance to go lower. Otherwise, I've got blockers with Jaybird, with Hellstrom, and La Revolution. And so I need social distance. I believe in you. Fail. Go low. You can do it. All right, so that's going to do it for this Saturday estimates update. I would say pay attention to your Sunday estimates update in your email box, but we are foregoing. We are not having a Sunday estimates update. Why? It's not because I'm lazy. This is my only job, but Sunday/tomorrow is my birthday, October 18th, and Jackson's. We do not work on our birthday. And also company policy at Cinema Draft. If it's your birthday, don't show up to work. You don't have to work on your birthday. It's your own special holiday. Celebrate it. Embrace it. So yeah, so I'm not working tomorrow. I'm not doing any of this shit. But I will be back on Monday, sometime after 12 p.m. Pacific time, with the final results of the game, plus next week's talent pool preview. Cooking up 25 fresh ones for you to play. And I don't know if it'll be as good as this, but I think we'll see some good scoring next week as well. So thanks everybody for playing. Thanks everybody for watching. You will see me and hear from me again on Monday. Happy birthday to me.